Dee 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 dee. Welcome back, my friends, to the BjjBrick Quick Podcast. My name is Byron. This is the Quick Jiu-Jitsu Podcast. If you couldn't tell it by the name, I don't know what to tell you. And today, we're talking about being lost on the mats. And I don't anticipate anybody having a problem with actually finding the door or... where to get a drink, I guess. I don't know where your gym bag is. Not like that lost. You're grappling and you're confused. That's not good. I'll break this topic really in half. If you're new, you're going to be confused a lot. That's jiu-jitsu. There's so much to learn. And you're going to always have a little bit of questions in your head, or what should I do, or what's going on? What's my training partner? What is she trying to do? A lot of stuff popping in. So if you're fairly new, I'm going to say, less than 4 months of activity. Being lost is just being a little confused sometimes. And my general advice is your main positions. Mount, back, guard, side control, standing up, the basic stuff. You should know what to do from each of those positions. Those shouldn't be a mystery. Whether you can do them or not, and probably not is more often the case. If I'm in your guard, I should try to pass it. I can't do it, that's okay, but I know what I should be trying to do. So, if I'm in a position where it's just confusing, maybe it's a bit of a leg entanglement, maybe it's a guard with my lapel wrapped around me in a funny way, maybe it's an odd side control, which is really throwing me for a loop. You're fairly new. Try to take a deep breath if that's possible. and know that you're going to be all right. You want to use your brain. You don't want to spaz out and freak out about the situation. That it's okay. You could tap, that this isn't a life and death situation here. So calm yourself down a little bit. And then my general advice is get back to one of the core positions. Mount. Even it's a bottom mount I'm talking about. Bottom side control. Guard or top, wherever. Get back to where you know what you should do. Otherwise, you're just confused. And lots of times in jiu-jitsu, doing what feels like the right thing is the wrong thing. That's why there's a lot of strategy. That's why it's like a bit of chess on here. Hey, it seems easier to turn this way. Oh, thanks for your back, You should have just tried to maneuver back to a normal side control or a normal mount or whatever. If you could kind of reset the position to where you're familiar, then you know what to do. It may not work. That doesn't matter. You didn't proceed blindly into confusion. If you're more experienced, so over 4 months or you have a little bit more knowledge than just the basic positions, try to just work back to being familiar with what's going on. There's a lot of really tricky guards. I get more confused with some of the guards that I encounter than probably anything else. I usually have a couple of guard passes that I like, and one I'm working on particularly right now. And if they end up kind of tying me up in an odd way, and I'm not much of a gi, I don't use the lapel for much other than a handle. And a lot of my training partners will wrap that thing around me 40 times, and my leg will go to sleep, and at the same time my other arm is going, I don't know. It's quite confusing. But if I could just rewind or unloop my arm or take a step back and kind of reset this, I'm much better off than trying to proceed through this situation to pass the guard. There's usually a trick in there that I'm going to take the bait on if I do that. So just to reset or to bring back the situation to where you're more familiar. That's it. So if you're confused, whether you're advanced or you're new, bring it back to where you're familiar, if at all possible. And do know that usually if your training partner, your opponent, your coach is confusing you, you're usually pretty close to getting tapped out. They're not confused usually in the situation. They created this environment. So heads up on that one. It might feel weird to be like, oh yeah, they just have the mount, that's it. But in reality, you might have just escaped their best armbar setup, and yeah, the mount's not good, but it's better than what was going to happen next. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this episode. How often are you confused on the mats? Like, actually, I don't know what I should do here. Do I turn this way or turn that way? What do I do? So comment on this episode. If you have any topics you want me to cover, email them to BjjBrick@gmail.com. Till next time, stay sweaty, my friends.